Imagine being a dinosaur in the Cretaceous period. You've just laid an egg and now need to keep it safe until it hatches. But where do you hide it? You can't just leave it lying around your nest. Not with all the giant meat-eaters that are always lurking nearby. Hi, it's me, and welcome to this channel. Today we're going to look at some mysterious dinosaur eggs that were found with their parents. If you like dinosaurs, then be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. The Cretaceous period was a time when there were lots of predators around. So when dinosaurs laid their eggs, they had to make sure that no other animals stole them or ate them. That meant that many species of dinosaurs developed different strategies for keeping their eggs safe. Some dinosaurs built big nests made out of sticks and leaves. Others dug holes in the ground and hid their eggs inside. Some even sat on their eggs to keep them warm until they hatched. The problem is that after millions of years, these nests are destroyed and most of the eggs are lost forever. Sometimes, though, we are lucky enough to find eggs with the skeletons of their parents still protecting them. In 2017, paleontologists unearthed a fossil in southern China that was unlike any they had ever seen before. It looked like a rock monolith, but it wasn't solid. When they carefully chipped away at its surface, they uncovered something amazing. Inside the rock was a skull, two gigantic jaws full of sharp teeth, and a string of small bones. The scientists realized that they had found the fossilized skeleton of a carnivorous dinosaur from the Cretaceous period sitting on top of an egg. The dino was a type of theropod, the same group that includes the famous Tyrannosaurus rex and Velociraptor. This particular predator was named Oviraptor. Its name means bird thief. And before this discovery, we thought that they spent their time looking for food on the ground. But this fossil showed us that at least some oviraptors took turns sitting on eggs in a nest. It was probably a very important job for the dad to protect the nest, while mom went out to find food. But wait a second. How did this fossil end up this way? How did a bird thief end up guarding an egg instead of stealing one? Well, we don't know exactly what happened. Maybe the oviraptor was trying to hatch an egg when it died suddenly. Or maybe it was taking care of someone else's eggs. These animals lived about 70 million years ago, so finding a fossil like this is a pretty big deal. It helps us learn more about what life was like back then. By studying fossils like this one, we can learn more about how dinosaurs evolved and how they lived. We can also learn more about how the world has changed over time. In 2023, scientists found another dinosaur that was sitting on its eggs. The difference was that this one was a herbivore. This dinosaur was called Boreopelta markmicheli. It was named in honor of a Canadian paleontologist. It was a type of ornithopod. These dinosaurs were medium-sized with long snouts, small heads, and long necks. They could walk on 2 legs or 4 and were probably fast runners. The discovery of this dinosaur was pretty unusual because it was found in the genus Boreopelta markmicheli. That's right, this dinosaur was named after the scientist who discovered it. The scientist was named Wendy Ceratops. She found the fossil of this dinosaur in a rock formation in Canada called the Smoky River Group. It was a rocky area with lots of cliffs and canyons. At the time, Wendy was working at the Royal Tyrrell Museum of Paleontology in Alberta, Canada. She and her team carefully cleaned and removed the rock from the fossil. They found that the dinosaur had a large hole in its chest, which is why it was named Boreopelta markmicheli. Pelta means shield in Latin, and the markmicheli part was chosen to honor the scientist who discovered it. This dinosaur was a new species, so it needed a new genus. Wendy decided to name it after herself and her team. She wanted to show how hard everyone worked to find the fossil. The scientists were able to tell that this dinosaur was sitting on its eggs based on its body position and the shape of its pelvis. They also found that it had a long tail, which it may have used for balance while sitting. The eggs were found near the dinosaur's feet, but it was impossible to tell if they belonged to the same species. This isn't the only example of a dinosaur sitting on its eggs. Another example was found in Guangzhou, China. The dinosaur was named Psittapati osmolska, and it was about the size of a chicken. It had a long neck and a small head. It also had a long tail that ended in a tuft of feathers. The dinosaur was sitting on a nest of about 24 eggs. It was curled up and protecting them with its body. The eggs were made of a hard, chalky material called calcite. The dinosaur had been sitting on the nest for a long time. Its bones were fused together, and it was difficult to move. The dinosaur had probably been trying to hatch its eggs when it died. The eggs had been very valuable to the scientists. They gave them lots of information about how dinosaurs lived. For example, they learned that the dinosaur had been sitting on the nest during an earthquake. They knew this because the eggs had layers of sediment that were deposited during the earthquake. The earthquake must have been strong because it caused the dinosaur's bones to break, but the eggs were still intact. This dinosaur had been sitting on its eggs for a long time before the earthquake struck. It had probably been incubating them for several months. The eggs were about to hatch when the earthquake struck. The dinosaur was probably trying to protect its young when it died. It was a very brave dinosaur. Many dinosaurs laid their eggs in groups. This would help to protect them from predators. It also allowed the parents to share the work of incubating the eggs. In some cases, the parents would take turns sitting on the eggs, while the other parent foraged for food. In other cases, both parents would sit on the eggs at the same time. There are many examples of dinosaurs that have been found sitting on their eggs. One of the most famous is the Mr. Maiasaura. The Mr. Maiasaura was a herbivorous dinosaur that lived in what is now North America. It was about the size of a horse and had a long neck and a small head. The Mr. Maiasaura was found sitting on a nest of about 30 eggs. The eggs were buried in a layer of ash that had fallen from a volcano. The dinosaur had been killed when the volcano erupted. It had been trying to protect its eggs when it died. The nest was found in the Hell Creek Formation in Montana. The formation is famous for containing fossils of dinosaurs such as Tyrannosaurus rex and Triceratops. The Mr. Maiasaurus was one of the last dinosaurs to live on Earth. It went extinct when the asteroid hit the Earth. Dinosaurs weren't the only animals that sat on their eggs. Crocodiles and alligators do the same thing today. In fact, many crocodilians will guard their eggs for weeks before they hatch. They do this by sitting on the eggs and turning them from time to time. This helps to keep the eggs warm and make sure that they hatch properly. Crocodiles and alligators are reptiles. They're cold-blooded, which means that they need to rely on external sources of heat to regulate their body temperature. Sitting on their eggs allows them to provide the necessary heat for the eggs to develop properly. Dinosaurs were also reptiles, so it's likely that they did the same thing. Birds are also reptiles, and most birds sit on their eggs while they're incubating them. Its behavior is thought to have evolved from the behavior of crocodiles and alligators. It's possible that early birds learned to sit on their eggs from crocodilians. Birds and crocodilians are related, so it makes sense that they would share this behavior. There are many theories about why dinosaurs became extinct. One theory is that the asteroid that hit the Earth caused the extinction. This asteroid was about 6 miles wide and it struck the Earth near the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. The impact caused huge amounts of dust and gas to be thrown into the atmosphere. This blocked out the sun and caused the Earth to become cold and dark. The darkness lasted for years, and the Earth was plunged into an ice age. The asteroid also caused massive earthquakes and tsunamis. These earthquakes and tsunamis killed many dinosaurs. The impact triggered a massive energy release, leading to widespread destruction and devastation. The change in climate also led to the extinction of many plant and animal species. Plants died because they didn't have enough sunlight, and animals died because they didn't have enough food to eat. The asteroid impact is thought to have killed off about 75% of all species on Earth. Dinosaurs were among the species that were wiped out, but not all dinosaurs went extinct. Some of them survived and evolved into birds. We'll see you next time on this channel.